All right, can you hear me, Richard?
What's the difference? I have nothing to say anymore.
All right.
Where's Artie?
He's brushing his hair.
Oh, I'm fed up with his looks.
He's sitting right in front of me.
What do I care? I know him for 40 years.
Honestly, you know how great producers always lie for their people. Like
Is that you, Artie?
Yeah, they'll make up. Great producers make up stuff.
How is your bowel movement, by the way?
Freddie the Cordova, he doesn't say. Freddie the Cordova doesn't say to Bob Hope, he can't. He's fucking Angie Dickinson. He can't get to you. He says, "Oh, he had a heart attack and he's getting mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." Now, Danny says exactly what I'm doing. I'm brushing my hair.
I know. It's disgusting. I never liked him for that.
Did the producers at Anything But Love ever say when you weren't ready for a scene?
Why don't you go back 30 years, okay? Hey, how were you? Did you ever blow Woodrow Wilson?
Did they ever say Bruce Weitz was blowing you? You couldn't. What was the guy's name? From Hill Street Blues.
Now, wait a minute. This is your podcast. Gary Meyer was just here. Now he's in New York. I think he's... but Gary, what are you doing in New York?
Everybody gets mentioned on your Twitter but me as being a genius. I look at your Twitter. It's unbelievable.
No, I don't call anybody a genius.
Oh, yeah, let me refer to your Twitter right now. How about that? I'll go to...
Oh, that's a lot of crap. I called my dog that she fell asleep watching this Trump crap. I couldn't handle it anymore.
Let me. By the way, I have an exclusive club. It's the modern version of the Friars Club. You can only get in if you have 300,000 Twitter followers. I can get you in as a guest of mine, if you like.
So glad I called you, you fat fucking piece of shit.
I'm celebrating 330,000 followers.
Hey, how's your weight, by the way? You know I love you.
Well, my weight is actually your Twitter followers, so it's good.
I'm down to 107.
I actually lost some weight, but I think it's because of diabetes. Listen.
You don't have diabetes, do you?
Type 1, yeah. I take the... I've actually given autographs for my insulin pen.
Hey, can I open with that when I'm dying?
Dude, that destroys.
So I was just at Sag Harbor, and there was 300 people in Bermuda shorts. I almost had a breakdown.
I tell you what, I saw you sold out Sag Harbor, which means you're really...
Oh, no, it's all good.
You're really in touch with the regular people.
I don't need to plug. I'm going to Boston, Philadelphia, Caroline, Chicago, Largo. I'm doing a movie with Peter Fonda, and I'm doing a cameo tomorrow with Adam Sandler, and Curb is starting its ninth season. I gotta go.
Hey, listen, I saw you're at the Carolines the same weekend I am. Are you? And they told me I'm headlining. What does that mean?
You're not fucking headlining. What are you, nuts?
Hey, listen, you sold out at Sag Harbor, which means you're in touch with the regular people.
Are you going to be there the 20th and the 21st?
I'm going to be at Caroline September 15th and 16th.
No, I'm there the next week. I only do one show a night. I can't. I'm too weak to do two shows.
First time I ever saw Richard Lewis live was Caroline's at the Seaport, 1987. I went by myself. I was that much of a fan. I drove my father's handicap van, and I went in, put my Mickey Rourke in Pope of Greenwich Village leather jacket on, and my Marlboro Reds. And I got to tell you what, goddamn, it's still again the best comedian I ever saw live.
Where's Gary Meyer? How come he's not talking?
Gary Meyer. Again, these references, I can hear millennials just shutting off.
I don't know. Gary, and his former partner years ago were probably the two greatest, and they're both individually great. Gary doesn't like me to say that, but they were pre-Stern, pre-everybody, and they started an entire type of communication on radio, and I will always be grateful for how they used me.
I tell you, well, okay, the microphone check is done and we can start.
It's the producing.
Wait, Gary, you're talking about the doll and Gary? Oh, come on. Come on. I mean, you doing that for Dan's benefit, Steve? Is Gary Meyer Gary's last name?
Yes. Gary Meyer's a genius.
Yeah, I love Gary Meyer, but his partner was a little off, according to Dan.
Yeah, well, they broke up, but I love it. Martin and Lewis only lasted 9 years. What do you want?
Were you upset when Martin left you? I'll give you a great story. Can I just tell you right now, Artie? Yeah.
You were on fire comedically.
The night Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis did their last show was at the Copacabana in New York. And
you know who was there and was responsible for that?
That was your 40th birthday, right?
No, Yoko.
Yoko Ono was not responsible for that.
Yoko broke up Martin and Lewis.
I thought that was the Beatles. She broke up.
She didn't break up.
She broke up everybody.
He wanted to be with her. He was fed up.
Are you well? Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis goes out by the Hudson River by himself in a very sentimental moment. Finds a payphone and calls Dean Martin up and just says, "Listen, Dean, we had our troubles, but I had to call you and just say I'm alone. I'm thinking of you. I love you." And Dean Martin said, "Listen, I'm waxing this chick. Can I call you later?" And they didn't talk again for 20 years.
Did you say you said waxing this
Yeah,
chick?
that's the point of the story. Supposedly Dean Martin said waxing. I don't even know what that means. Maybe that's a Steubenville, Ohio thing.
No, that's when I hear things like that, I feel like I'm in my late 60s now, and I don't even know what these words mean.
By the way, your wife.
You know, I'm putting a harmonica in this chick. I gotta call you back. I don't know what anything means anymore.
That's what Bob Dylan used to do. And then he'd do like live like a Rolling Stone and play her pussy.
Because I'm getting internal bleeding.
Hey, listen, I try to give you a compliment. I told you 1987.
I don't take compliments. I know. Look, I think you're brilliant, and you came to Carnegie Hall in '89, and you decided to become a comic, and that'll always make me feel great.
Well, listen, I decided before that, but
now you changed your whole story.
No, I decided when. No, let me finish.
You know
I decided when I saw your special, when I saw your first special. That's what I decided.
I'm in pain.
Yes, a couple of years before.
They show that on YouTube for free now. You know, what is this crap?
All our material, everything I've ever done. They did Stern bits, my stand-up. It's disgusting.
You realize that comics, there's not all comics are great. I would say 90% suck.
A lot of them suck.
They can go on a cruise and take 10 of the best. Take your two of my specials, two of yours, Chris Rock, Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce, and they can kill for an hour. And you think those people drunk out of their mind on a cruise? First of all, going on a cruise, you got to be out of your fucking mind.
Well, a lot of them are thieves, is your point. But now, you're very nice. I'm not in the league of the people you said. You're in the upper echelon. You're in the upper echelon.
Where's Gary? Did Gary shoot himself?
Again, the theme of Where's Gary is getting weak.
No, I want to know. I thought Gary Meyer was there.
The runner of you wondering where Gary is starting to wade. Let's just. You want to start from the beginning?
No. Tell me the truth.
Do you mean Gary Baba Booey?
No, he's not here.
He knows he's not.
Dan's a moron.
Dan talks about stuff. I don't know how he gets into this with you.
Yeah, no, he talks so fast. He says Gary wants to be.
So maybe he did misunderstand. It's very easy to misunderstand.
I misunderstood. Gary's brilliant, praising him because I thought he was listening.
Oh.
Now I don't give a shit about anyone but you.
Well, I was running because I thought this was Aziz Ansari. I was rushing.
That hurt me.
Now, who's your favorite young?
I don't know. I'm talking to you because I love you, but I'm missing the kayak quarterfinals.
Does Howard have you on still?
If I ask, but you know what? For 30 plus years, during commercials, I used to rip him.
Yeah.
And I think it really bothered him. And then he would always get like, I hate Curb. I said, fuck this. I was with him for 30 years when he was just starting to get a name, coming in there before you were even a comic, with sitting in there with
I used to love it.
For 3 hours. And all of a sudden he makes this deal. And and he doesn't ask me on like he used to. So I don't give a shit. He was great to me, but then Larry David gets the Broadway play, and then he watches all of the Curbs. It's all bullshit.
When I was there, and they would ask, your name would come up. I used to go in the meeting. I go, guys, is this even a question? Like it's a question about whether or not to have Richard Lewis?
No, he puts me down. I don't know. You know what? He's brilliant. And Gary, I donated $100,000 worth of photographs for the Grammy drug rehab program.
What photographs of who?
It's for the Grammys. It was 2 years ago during the Dylan year, and I saw Gary, and he came over to my. I donated 25 rock photographs, and they made $100,000. So I said, Gary, I can't. He said, I'll see you on the show. They never called. It's such bullshit.
Yeah, well, that Chelsea Handler's
I don't care. They were great. It was 30 years. It's a long enough run. But I don't understand why why in the? I mean, I was trying to psychologically figure out. And there's a million shows I love doing. I don't have to be on Howard. I'm on your show now. But I mean, I don't understand why he would put Curb down. Why he would put me down all the time. I mean, it was like a battle every time I went in there. It wasn't like fun.
Well, you're very sweet, but the difference between my show and Howard's show is millions of people listen to Howard, and I think just my cousins listen to this, or maybe not even that. This show's a horrible failure. But I think you're the best. Nothing's going to change that. You're one of the funniest guys.
The guy who played guitar in do they listen to this show?
You mean like dueling banjos?
Yeah, the dueling banjo guys, because they're in their 60s now.
Well, you're 69 years old.
I just turned 69, that's right. So what about it?
Your wife is gorgeous. I saw you and your wife.
My wife's gorgeous. My penis is fine.
Now, are there any illegitimate Richard Lewis's running around like in Vegas? Anything like that?
Everybody rips everybody off. Don't you get ripped off all the time?
Not with jokes, but mostly Puerto Ricans in the subway.
You know, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
That was borderline racist.
Well, I wanted to be racist, so how did I put it over the top?
Well, because you're very edgy.
I'm pro-Trump. I'm pro-Trump.
You are. I'm sure you are.
Well, I'm an uneducated white guy. I didn't go to college. I'm a white guy.
Uneducated? No, it's always.
I'm the guy you look down on.
It's fun to watch a convention and then have some of his fans say, "Hang her."
Well, listen. I mean, he's not talking about anybody. He's talking about a woman who had people killed.
Oh, come on. Let's not even go politics right now.
I'm not a political guy. I'm an uneducated white guy.
Political guy? You're too stupid to be political.
I'm uneducated.
What are you talking about?
When you go to George Clooney's dinner for $300,000 a plate, I'm the guy you talk about. You go.
I don't go to George Clooney's dinner for $300,000.
Well,
are you out of your fucking mind?
You don't get an invite to that.
I used to work for the Clintons back in the 90s. That was fun.
What'd you do? My buddy at the port used to work for the
I used to bring them on to 25,000 people on university campuses. I don't know where I got the balls big enough to do that shit.
And what did they get? $700,000? And what'd you get?
No, this wasn't Sonny and Cher. This was running for president.
Actually, I'm not. I don't vote. I'm a convicted felon. But I just see on your Twitter, every other tweet is anti-Trump. Don't you think it's a little easy? Like, isn't that a softball?
Yeah, because I don't like the guy. That's all. I think he's stirring up really a lot of hatred, and
you're too good of a comic.
It's disgusting. I know people don't. A lot of people don't like the Clintons and Hillary.
That's the problem.
This guy is really, if someone shot me, if someone shot somebody, they would still like. I mean, this is bullshit.
You know what he is? He's a New Yorker. He's a blowhard construction guy.
That makes him a New Yorker. Why doesn't he just be a Met fan and forget not have people be shot?
Well, listen. As a Met fan, you should want no wall around Mexico. That's for sure, because you need pitching.
So Teixeira's gone.
Teixeira, the Yankees suck.
Who's on the Yankees?
The Yankees suck. But didn't you used to be a Yankee fan too?
No, any team from New York living out in L.A., which I despise.
Okay. Well, you're out there for long enough. You despise it.
Well, I was out here since the mid-'70s, but a Korean ping pong team from New York, I root for them.
Now, I like the Olympics.
My favorite athlete now is Kam Sim. He's a table tennis player here in Manhattan.
That was borderline racist.
No, it wasn't.
I like the Olympics because it's the last place you can be racist. You can hate somebody just because they're from another country.
You're the last story. It's like it should be a movie. The last show that when the bomb drops, when your president drops the bomb.
Yeah, right. He doesn't have a shot at winning.
Push the red button. I don't like your daughter's hair. All right, bomb Russia.
Push the red button. This is like a 7th grade argument. Like he's got a button that they're going to give him a push.
Well, they do got a button.
Yeah, he's not going to get away with pushing anybody. First of all, he's going to lose in a landslide. That's why it'd be funny if somebody went the other way, be original and go, maybe some, jokes about Hillary on your thing. Every guy is making it. It's too simple.
You know that guy Nate Silver? He never loses. He played football bets. 88%, he says Clinton has to win.
Yeah, she's gonna kill him, especially now. But did you buy that Indian couple, the 7-Eleven couple with the Constitution?
I bought the book, and but he wouldn't. I asked him to sign it for me.
Did you think that was a plant? The con company?
Oh, come on. You're like a conspiracy. You know.
Let me tell you.
Conspiracy nutcase.
I have a copy if you'd like it.
You think Soupy Sales killed Kennedy?
That was Fred Travelina in makeup. Mr. Trump, I have a copy.
You know, I had a horrible. Ted, Travelina died, but I was on a phone once and I did a Letterman shot, and I did this joke.
The joke is the best joke of all time about boxing.
You know the joke?
I know the joke. It's my favorite punchline.
I'm telling my friend. I said, the joke was that he was such a commercial act that when they're fighting in Vegas,
oh, it's the best.
If the guy's knocked down, the referee says, "Who's what's his first name?"
Can I do the punchline because you're not good at it anymore?
Who's Travelina?
Who's Fred Travelina? I don't know. It's
Who's
over.
Ted Travelina? It's not Ted.
Fred. Who's Fred Travelina? I don't know.
Wait,
it's
who's
over.
Fred Travelina?
When you did it on Letterman,
he goes, I don't know, and then the ref goes, "It's over. It's over."
Can I tell it properly?
So that was the joke. So
Can I tell it properly?
I'm on the phone telling somebody, and who's next to me on the phone? Fred Travelina.
Get out of here.
Yeah, 1,000,000,000 shot.
No, I saw you do it live on Letterman, and it was great when you did, because you would always go on Letterman, you'd have ink on your fingers because you were just writing, and he would make fun of that. And then it's the best Letterman's ever. Again, if I may try to give you another compliment. And when you did that joke, you would do it like you'd go from angle to angle, the way Trump reads a teleprompter, quite frankly. You'd go, "Who's Fred Travelina? I don't know. It's over." So fucking funny. So fucking.
Well, he did help me a lot, because I talk so fast it made no sense.
But he was you two were perfect together. Like, and what about him? Is he? Do you think he's depressed? He looks suicidal to me, Letterman, with the beard.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way: his fashion stylist is making him look like the Unabomber right now.
The guy's got 1,000,000 acres in Montana. Do you think he just gets lost on his own property sometimes?
Let me tell you something. He changed comedy for our generation.
We changed talk shows. That's for sure. Yep.
I did about 75 shots. He said you can come on whenever you want and never do stand-up, only panel.
Yeah.
I owe him everything to starting my career. But can you imagine getting in there at 10 o'clock with 20 writers coming on live? I mean, it's a nightmare. That's why the Daily Show, that guy, he quit. I mean,
you got to stop.
You got to stop. But what do you think about, what's his name, at CBS at 11:30? I mean, I don't,
Colbert.
Colbert is so brilliant. He should have really.
Again, do you guys go to a meeting about who to call brilliant? Like, you go to a meeting, you agree, well, everyone will call him brilliant?
Genius? I didn't say genius.
He's not brilliant. He's a guy, first of all, he's very effeminate. Your thoughts? He comes out and does a monologue. Before he does his monologue, he does kicks like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Johnny Carson used to walk out, zip up his pants from Angie Dickinson blowing him, and belt out a monologue.
How dare
belt out a monologue that was perfect.
How dare you mock a man with
Letterman
with gay Tourette?
Letterman walks out. Letterman walks out real slow. Is hilarious. A guy like you comes out, and now we got Colbert. He does a cheerleading routine. Then he sits down and goes, "Trump is a jerk." And then he talks to like Ted Cruz.
So who's your top three now?
Top three what?
In talk shows.
Well, I got to go James Corden. The guy Colbert follows. You want to talk about brilliant? Follows Colbert. You want to talk about brilliant? Did you ever see that guy?
I love that car riding when they sing. I think it's great.
That's great. That's like that's accountants don't even
do. Did you ever do the Seinfeld car show?
I do another show called Comedians in Cars Getting Cocaine.
You got to stop because
Seinfeld. No, Seinfeld doesn't. Seinfeld doesn't like me. Seinfeld doesn't like me.
If you use again, I'm going to kill you.
Well, you better get here by 11. What do you do? Did you ever do that show? Because you'd be perfect.
22 years sobriety. Thank you.
You ever do Seinfeld show with the coffee? Because you'd be perfect.
I just said I had 22 years sobriety. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Richard.
Yeah, you don't even care.
Does that? First of all, that's unbelievable to me. It is. That's very impressive.
22 years is impressive.
In show business too, on the road doing stand up. That's hard to do, man.
Do you count 300 enemas a month? Does that matter?
And again, he's not going to take this seriously, but Richard helped save my life by, my sister came into my I was in the loony bin, the nut house, and my sister came into my room and said, she was crying. She said, Richard Lewis was just so nice to me on the phone, and because she knows what you meant to me. and that helped me
Well,
get the hell out of
I
it.
didn't save your life. You saved your own. But I will say the best thing I ever did on radio, I was on Stern. You were loaded. And I looked at you and I went, "You're going to die." And then Howard, and a lot of people feel like this way with Howard, and he's not wrong. Like, it's none of my business,
Right.
you know, what he wants to do with his life. It's his life, and I respect that, you know.
Sure.
But you know, his partner didn't like. He says, "Hey, Richard's right," and I was right. You tried to kill yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a half-hearted. I was out. I mean, my shrink said, "Listen, if you were
But half-hearted, you weren't using a water pistol.
No, look, it got very dark. But you never see. You never got into opiates? Did you ever do heroin? I did heroin. It was the worst thing.
No, I bottomed out on crystal meth the last 6 weeks.
That's brutal. See, the fact you're so honest about that too, because you were a mainstream comic, a guy that was working on ABC sitcoms, and to admit that is pretty incredible. I'm trying. You said 94. You got sober.
Yeah, 94.
So that was right after I guess Anything But Love was 89, 90, man. So during those years,
88 to 92, and then
during those years on that show, Richard, you were using crystal meth.
I was using, but not. You know, I tried to, keep it cool during the taping. And
God,
then
you looked fine. You were great. I mean, the timing, the joke, you looked. I mean,
no, I had anti-crystal meth makeup. It was the whole line.
How scary is that you could get it together and do it right during that?
Well, I didn't do any meth or blow, the days of shooting.
But how did you not do that? As an addict, I can't believe you were able to have that control.
Because I knew down deep, and I'm not bragging about this, that if I stopped stand-up, I lost so much money. I stopped stand-up for 3 years because all I cared about was getting high.
Do you remember the fee? I don't mind asking you to tell me what it was. You're a gentleman, but do you remember the fee?
I don't want to talk about drugs.
Do you remember the fee? No. Do you remember the fee you got at Carnegie Hall?
I have no idea. Maybe, I don't know. I sold it out. I don't know what.
I'll never forget mine, and it's just I'm not asking you to say it, but it's like to me, you think of that, like you go and you think of the money you lost.
You
like
probably got more than me because you did it years later.
I did it. You did it in '89 in December. I did it in November of '06. So yeah, that's a long time.
Oh yeah, you made much more than I did.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to.
Did you tape it on the board?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
You mean tape it?
Yeah, you don't have a tape of it?
Oh no, I do. Yeah, I have it. I have a tape for my own use. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy came in and said it's $700, and my ex-girlfriend went, "Hey, he sold out. We're not giving you any more money," and I never taped it.
You know, it cost me $2,500, so stuff was going up.
Yeah,
I was me and my buddy Deej and these two girls. We were in the last row of the upper deck, and the one girl, the last row in Carnegie Hall. We were looking down. It was almost at a right angle. We had our necks, and the girl I was with, had no idea you were, and was a big fan afterwards. Like she laughed the entire time. I did 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was unbelievable. I had to keep coming back. Unreal.
It was the greatest night of my life.
To think of 2 hours, and me and my buddy Mike said that a comic for 2.5 hours, and you're not tired. Like it blew, and I did an hour and a half, and when I got off stage, I said to But
you didn't come back for an encore?
Yeah, I did about an hour 10. I came back into 20 minutes. And then, get this, my girlfriend, I was with for 5 years. We were having troubles, and everybody knew it on the show. It was her birthday. I had all the Carnegie Hall sing happy birthday. And that night, at the after party at Caroline, she caught me getting high in the bathroom, snorting heroin with my dealer. And
sounds like a good night.
We broke up. That night, Richard, I got a room at the Ritz-Carlton.
How high were you before the show? Because I only had a glass of wine like hours before.
I did 2 lines of heroin about an hour and a half before I went on, and I wasn't.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I had a tolerance. I got through. I had 2 bags in my pocket. We walked to Caroline's. It was unseasonably warm. We walked to Caroline's. I got a room overlooking the park at the Ritz-Carlton, $2,500 for the night. And she caught me getting high. She went home. I went to the Astro Diner across from Carnegie Hall at 7 a.m. I watched them take my poster down. I was like, this is just wow.
The one thing my ex-girlfriend did that was really good, she says, take the poster off the front of the building. It's gigantic, and I have it in my house.
Oh, that's great, though. That's great to have.
The other ones were real small, but on the city. But this one was, the one in the window on the front of the building.
Yeah.
It's like 20 feet by 90. It's the entire house. It's a little grandiose.
It's amazing to play that venue. Think about it. That is New York. That's the ultimate place to play. It's used in jokes.
It's the ultimate place to play in the world.
Yeah. And you
know, and I came out in the beginning. I wanted to see what it looked like, and then I didn't see anything because I said I don't want to see one person.
Oh, okay. All right.
I had to see what the theater looked like.
What did you do right after that? Did you throw a little...
No, I got totally bombed and drunk, and I went down. It was an after party, and I humiliated myself, but at least the show went well.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, I did the same thing. It's unbelievable. But did you enjoy that time when you were the shit? Like, there was a time where you were the guy. Were you able to enjoy it?
Hey, it was unbelievable. I would go on and do, like, say, you did Westbury a million times. Dave Mason was opening for me. I was on with Howard, and I was on all the time, and then he promoted the hell out of me.
Right.
So I get a phone call in 10 minutes. They sold 3,000 more tickets. You're doing an 11 o'clock show. That it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, I didn't do I couldn't do the kind of shows like some of these guys do Madison Square Garden. I'm not going to go in Madison Square Garden and talk about Yom Kippur.
No, I know, but isn't that a different thing? Don't you think comedy's not made for a room like that? I mean, what?
Yeah, it's like that old joke with Steve Martin. He says, "Look at his dime,"
Right. No, I know.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it's not. That's why I like doing clubs when I do them.
And you were built for the clubs.
They're right on top of you, man, and you got to really come through.
You were built for the clubs. The way you use the piano and the way you can,
I don't use notes anymore, so I don't even know. I have no idea what I'm going to say, and it scares the shit out of me.
Oh, you know what I see? But as a fan, I'd love to see that because I never saw you not use the notes, but you made it a joke. You made it a part of what you did.
I did, but I knew what was on that tape. I had on the piano at Carnegie Hall. I had 7 hours of new material.
I could imagine. That's something else I said to the girl I was with. I said, I bet he could have done another 5 hours.
Oh God, I'd still be on.
Did you have to make yourself say stop because because it's the moment?
No,
too.
I told my manager. He said, "You got to go back again." He said, "That's it. I got to go up and drink."
You'll never leave. When did booze become meth for you, Mike? If you don't want to talk about it.
No, booze was always the first thing. And then I started dating a lot of models who were doing hallucinogenics.
Right.
Ecstasy didn't do much for me, but this chick gave me ecstasy, and she put on Naked Lunch on a loop in my house for 3 weeks. Almost killed myself.
Oh, my God.
I said, if I see a clitoris come out of that typewriter again, I'm going to kill you and your family.
It gets very dark. But now you...
Can we ask how many people are listening to this?
It's me, you, and Dan. It's as if we're talking in my kitchen. But so you got a
question. When I die, what are you going to say when on the air?
If I'm allowed to, dude, I can't even. I would take that very seriously. I know.
No. But are you going to come to my eulogy?
First of all, what are the chances you're dying before me?
Oh God.
Oh, there's a very slim chance.
That's what I mean. So what are you saying about me? You'll be busy.
I haven't really written anything down yet.
You'll have a curb shoot.
You know what I would say about you?
You'll be rehearsing with J.B. Smoove.
I know exactly what I would say about you if you died first, God forbid.
Go ahead.
You know what I'd say? It was because of me that he became a comic.
Well, it's good to congratulate yourself at my funeral. Thank you.
That was the joke, you moron. You're not listening.
That wasn't even near a joke.
I think you're one of the most brilliant comics of your generation. I've always said that. I don't even think you get the credit.
I don't get any credit.
How great you are.
Because you never tell anybody on your Twitter.
I'm going to Twitter you as soon as we hang up.
I'm going right to your Twitter right now. I'm going to show you all the people you call brilliant.
I'm going to get a picture of you. I think, don't we have...
Whoa. What is that? What'd you just do?
He hit it with his cheek.
Oh, my God.
Don't we have a great picture of me and you together somewhere? Don't you have it on your phone?
Yeah, but don't you have it? Of course not.
I had 18 phones since then.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Hashtag Trump yourself on your... I mean, my God.
Stop the Trump.
You're above that.
I'm going to say that you're the
above
most
that.
underrated comedian in the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, how about this? You and artist David Cho on a plane? Who's David Cho?
David Cho, interesting story. He was an artist, and he did a picture for the first week for Facebook.
Yeah.
And allegedly, They said, you want to get stock, or should we give you a couple of grand? He said, I'll take stock.
Oh, nice! Wow, you're kidding.
2 years later, he was worth a couple $100 million.
Now he's got better Nick tickets than you, I'm sure. Look at this. Look at this. This is why I'm underrated. You ready? You think you'd put on your Twitter going on Artie Lang's podcast later? No.
I know why I didn't, because at 10 to 7.
Because nobody cares.
I had to go to the bathroom, and I thought I was going to miss the show, and otherwise I was going to tweet it.
Prestigious GOP. Okay, there's four Trump jokes in a row.
I didn't do any Trump jokes.
On your Twitter, Sag Harbor sold out, which congratulations.
I'm going to do Boston, Philadelphia, Carolinas, Largo, and Los Angeles. In a movie with Peter Fonda, and then Curb starts in November.
You and JB Smooth. This picture looks very funny at I guess an interracial comedy symposium. Trump.
What interracial comedy?
I'm looking at your Twitter, and then there's Fred Travelina in the Indian makeup at the convention.
There was a picture of you solo at his book signing, Artie, on his Twitter recently.
Well,
listen, let me get off now and tweet about you.
Who's this guy, by the way? Don't take a day for granted. Man, I really miss this humble genius. Who's this guy you're with?
I have no idea what you're talking. Abe Lincoln.
No, there's a fat guy you're next to, and it says humble genius. Don't take a day for granted. Is that I'm trying to think of that guy is.
Oh, he's probably someone. John Candy.
Oh, it is John Candy. Yeah, he was great.
He was a great guy, and he died in a bad movie we did together, and it was a horror show, man.
Charlie Hayden, jazz bass player. Wow, I know that guy's work actually. You wouldn't know.
He was a recovered junkie, and we were best friends, and
Oh, well, here we go.
Everyone's dying off. You might become the greatest comic of all time. You know why?
Because everyone will die.
There you go.
See how you teed it up? Okay, in all honesty, Curb Your Enthusiasm, 9th season. When did Larry let you know he was going to do another one? Is he just...
Now, let me ask you this. What would you do? I go out to dinner last week, and I know it's all over the Internet. So I told my wife, Joyce, I go, I got to ask if I'm in the season. She says, well, don't ask him.
Be it.
Stupid. And let him tell you.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think that he would kick me. So we go to dinner, and all my friends say, don't ask him.
Right.
So I'm sitting there. All I'm thinking about is Curb. We're having the greatest time. We're laughing and laughing, and all I care about is, am I in the 9th season? Because that'll keep I'll be doing stand-up for years.
Of course you'll be in the 9th season.
Well, I don't ask him, though, because everyone told me not to ask him.
Right.
At dinner. So we're waiting for our cars to come at valet crap. They have valets at drugstores. It's so stupid.
Right.
So I said, Larry, listen, I hate to ask you this, but am I in the 9th season? And he went, you fucking nutcase, you asshole. He went crazy. How dare you think I'd go to dinner and not have you in the season, you fuck.
How about this? All you just do a spot at the Comedy Store, 1988. You and Seinfeld, everybody. How much do you goof on how much of a
Why do you
loser?
mention Seinfeld? He doesn't even like me. He doesn't put me in. I didn't do his show.
He's an arrogant asshole. He's an arrogant
I don't need
prick.
to talk. I mean, I wish him the best. He's great at what he does.
I hope he dies
phenom.
first.
Him and Larry are great together.
He's a jerk off. But how much do you goof on Larry David in 1988? How much of a loser do you think he is? And
A loser, Larry David. He's
you never thought this was gonna happen with him. And now
no
you have
one
to.
ever thought. He used to storm off the stage all the time.
And you used to say he sucked behind his back. I guarantee it.
Oh, I did?
I'm sure you did. You used to get messed up with
You're
Seinfeld.
trying to get a little provocative. Oh, yeah.
You're going to tell me you thought this would happen? Did you ever think you'd be kissing his ass at the dinner?
I used to help him rub shit in his hair to get hair growing in his
He did have bad hair, man. What was that hair he had in the first couple of Woody Allen movies, like Hannah and Her Sisters, or you see him, or that one? He's got no hair.
Hannah and Your Sisters. And by the way, he wanted to give me presents when he used to give things away. He had a shirt from the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And I'm a Ranger fan, but I'm not a huge hockey fan. And the shirt had bow. We called it the bow shirt. It could not get the B.O. out of it.
Can I tell you one thing?
He wanted me to fucking wear it.
Can I tell you one thing?
That was bad, man.
If Seinfeld doesn't meet Larry David, he's opening for me next week.
No.
At Caroline's.
What do you mean if he doesn't meet him? They're best friends.
That's what I'm saying. If it's clear, Larry David.
Billions of dollars together.
Larry David was the genius. He was the genius behind it. Because what have they done since? Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld did the wife swap. Don't you think
he does that car show's popular?
that's brilliant? Where have you been on it?
He doesn't ask me. He doesn't like me, I don't think.
He doesn't like you. Know why? Because he knows you're funnier. He knows you're funnier.
I don't know what the reason is.
And
I was never even on Seinfeld.
You know what you should be in? That James Corden show would go in the car karaoke. What Adele song would you sing?
I would sing "Saint It, Saint It, Saint It."
Don't you think that guy should come out of the closet, Corden?
I don't think he can look a little effeminate, but I don't think he is.
He looks like Dom DeLuise looks like James Caan compared to.
You know,
Hi, we're doing Cars karaoke.
Big dump before your stupid producer who confused me, told me. And
you know what?
Joke, I'm right in the middle now of a nightmare scenario.
Richard Simmons is like that guy Bruce Wheats on your show.
You know what Bruce Simmons did? You know what Simmons did to me once?
What, blow you?
You know Simmons, the exercise guy.
Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
He blew
so
you.
I'm on Regis and Kathy Lee. Okay? And I'm on first.
So far, this is the gayest story I've ever heard.
I didn't finish it yet.
Okay.
He comes in my dressing room naked with a spinner on his dick with different vegetables.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
And the meat in the middle?
Yes, because he had this thing about spinning the food.
I remember, like the card counting thing, yeah.
Yeah. So he said, spin my broccoli. I went, fuck you, get out of here.
That didn't happen.
It happened, but I'm not done. I go on stage in the middle of my segment. Dig this. He comes on stage and starts slow dancing with me.
Oh.
So I have to decide, do I punch the fucking guy? Do I kill him?
Yeah.
And that would kill my career. I would have been over.
You can't kill a gay guy. If he was an uneducated white guy, you could kill him.
And then I do another show 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
He comes in naked again with a spinner with the carrot broccoli on his dick.
I don't believe this for a second.
I swear to God, I said, get your fucking dick and get your vegetables out of here.
You talking about Bill Simmons? By the way,
you know what he told me? He says he thought that you were underrated.
He told me that he thought you were underrated as an exercise guy.
Listen, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I know you got. What, you and JB Smooth gonna get some dinner?
I'm gonna tweet about you. No dirt. I'm gonna tweet about you as soon as I get off the toilet.
You know what? I don't want it. It's empty now. Now it's empty. I'll just die.
You don't want me to tweet about you?
I'll die underrated.
You know who's watching this show?
Who?
Bin Laden's nephew.
Guess what? Guess who's gonna be like you? I'm on an HBO show myself. I don't know if you heard.
Why don't you get an HBO show?
I have an HBO show. I'm a regular on a show called Crashing, produced by a little guy named Judd Apatow, my friend.
Oh, Judge Gray. Oh, he has the. Oh, is it on yet?
We just finished the season 1.
Oh, I've seen all the episodes. They're fantastic.
Of what? Not Girls. Another show.
Oh, I thought you meant Girls.
No, his new show.
Oh, you don't even have a show.
It just got filmed. You know what? What are we, Abbott and Costello? Now listen. I understand, Lou. Oh, you mean to tell me, Lou, you're on a show with Judd Apatow?
Wait. How many episodes have you shot yet?
8.
And are they on yet?
No, they start in February, right after Girls.
Well, I already saw the 8.
What are you talking about? Do you mean to tell me, Lou, you shot a show with Judd Apatow? The eyes on that picture moved.
You caught me in a bad lie. I never saw any of them.
I know.
I'm such a scumbag.
Why don't you try to tell me? Try to tell me
so easily.
Why don't you try to tell me? Try to tell me a funny lie.
You want a funny lie?
You gave me a bad lie, not a funny. I'm looking at your. It says Sandler film. What'd you do with Adam Sandler?
I'm just doing a cameo with a couple of comics tomorrow for an hour.
Oh, that's great. In a new Adam movie?
I don't know. He does a million of them, yeah.
Well, this is the time to do a Sandler movie in 2016. Peter Fonda.
He came to see me in concert last year, so I said, and he said, will you do this thing for me? I play myself.
He might be the nicest guy ever, Adam, and he's got about
he really is a great guy.
$1 billion. Peter Fonda. What are you doing with him?
I'm going to South America to shoot a movie with him. I'm playing a drunk doctor. I'll be the only guy who doesn't drink and do drugs there. It's in Santa Domingo or some shit.
Wouldn't you be afraid to go to South America with Peter Fonda? Bring a bodyguard.
It's not Peter Fonda. I'm afraid of all the fucking vaccinations and diseases I'm going to get.
That's what I mean. You got to be careful down here. What about
I'm going to come back with a green face and my
a green face? What about, is that produced by Cassavetes?
Yes, he's producing it, Nick Cassavetes.
See, all these guys, all these hip guys like you. That's what I mean, you know. And then you got Season 9 of Curb, and you're doing your tour. Go ahead, Rich. I'll let you go now, buddy. I appreciate you giving me time.
But here's what I want to do. I'm coming in. You got to hear this. I'm so fed up with all these rooms in the Friars Club.
What?
I've been a friar for 30 years. The Billy Crystal room.
What's the rumor?
I want a fucking room.
No, Billy Crystal. I thought you said roomer. You want a room? Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm getting one, and I want you to come.
Where's the room at the Hilton?
The week before I open at Caroline's.
They got you a room at the Hilton?
They're giving me the Richard Lewis honorary toilet. It's going to be a plaque.
By the way, do you know I have a room there?
What's it called?
It's called the James Corden room. No,
that's hilarious.
You should have a room there.
You come with all the PR, and come when they put the bathroom plaque in there for me.
Well, if you remember to invite me, I can't even get on your Twitter. I'm gonna get your room.
Invited now, but it's going to be on the 20th.
Well, this is so formal. Thank you.
No, and then what about the day we spend 8 hours walking around New York? How much fun do we have?
Well, you're always trying to get away from me. You go, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to eat. I go, can I come?
You wanted me to take a ferry to your fucking house? Are you nuts?
What do you believe me? When you see the view, you'll love it. You'll be living.
I'm not taking a ferry to see the view. I lived in New York my whole life. What am I going to see? The Chrysler Building from a pier? I've had enough of you, and I've had enough of Dan.
Wait, I just got an offer to do the Seinfeld coffee show. I got to get it. All right,
you guys, man.
Richard, I love you. Be good. The great Richard Lewis. I wanted to get his thoughts on the Ghostbusters movie. It's like they get into everybody in Hollywood has a meeting about who's asked to kiss. Like the guy Colbert, brilliant. James Corden, great. Do you know James Corden is nominated for an Emmy?
Yes, I saw that.
Let me just explain something to people out there. Let me just explain something to all the idiots out there who think they fans of comedy. You know, you realize the signature bit of the James Corden show is him doing karaoke in a car. All right. Do you realize the level of comedy that is? Do you? And first of all, it goes viral. You know why? Because he sings Adele songs with Adele. If you got the real Adele to walk in here and you gave me an hour, believe me, I'd do something that would go viral. Believe me. If the real Adele walked in here and I could tape something with her for an hour, believe me, it would go viral. It may be the only thing people ever download in the future of the internet. Yeah. Do you know, like, women driving to work? You know, think of the I don't know where you live. You live somewhere in Sioux City, Iowa, whatever, and you have 4 women in your neighborhood, and they're the 4 most annoying people on the planet Earth. They get into a car and they go to work. That's what they do. A team of writers at the James Corden show came up with something 4 annoying cunts do in your neighborhood. Put that song on, car karaoke. Car karaoke. My aunts could come up with that name. An Emmy Award. Why? And let's examine why he gets an Emmy nomination. Because he's an effeminate, English, fat, white guy who says African American all the time. He's as safe as they come. There's no edge. There's no danger. He is fucking just towing the line, man. He is so non-threatening to people. The direct opposite of people like Richard Pryor and George Carlin, who he claims he probably loves. He probably hasn't heard one routine by Pryor.
He doesn't know who they are.
Believe me, he knows. He's seen their faces. But he'd be offended by everything I'd play by them. Okay? And guess Ellen's the same way, guys. Ellen's probably got $500 million. Ellen DeGeneres' fucking pussy-eating partner, Portia de Rossi, is going to die richer from comedy than Peter Sellers was.
Oh, God. That's depressing.
Because Ellen DeGeneres is another one. She's safe. She comes out and dances to popular, to like Gloria Gaynor. What every annoying cunt does at a wedding. She does what every annoying broad does at a wedding. And that's being rewarded as great comedy. On all these chicks who you meet who aren't in show business with you. She's so nice, and I love telling them. Everyone who's ever worked with her says she's a tyrant, awful, mean person. Get out of here. They can't even believe it. And of course she is. She's evil. Has contempt for people. But what is she? She is a manly woman. James Corden is an effeminate man. She's a manly woman who's white and dances and is non-threatening and says African American a lot. She is not taking any risks, man. It's no longer dangerous to be gay in Hollywood. And it's the norm, guys. And that's great. But now it's tipped over. There's no equality. It's the other way. You want to be equal, you got to have a sense of humor about yourself. We're allowed to make jokes about you the way you're allowed to make jokes about me. So fuck off. A manly woman and an effeminate man. What are they trying to show us? We love everybody. Inclusion. Okay. Well, can you find an effeminate man or a manly woman who are funny? Let's get that search going. I know a couple. How come they're not on TV? Guys, Ellen DeGeneres, and she dances. That's all she does. She dances. And people think it's brilliant. Oh, and Howard, we used to goof on it even worse than I am now on the Stern Show. We used to be evil about it. And now he goes on, he interviews her and tells her he looks forward to the dancing. What the fuck is happening? Maybe I did die. Maybe when I stabbed myself, I died. Matter of fact, I think that happened. I stabbed myself and I died and I went to hell. And in the hell, because all that started happening.
But I'm here.
Case in point. I'm living with a man now. When Adrian walked out the door, this beautiful blonde, I stabbed myself. I woke up, Dan was sitting here making dinner. It's gorgeous blonde, green eyes. Like an Arizona 9, Adrian was. Beautiful. She left. I stabbed myself. I woke up. A 52-year-old guy in a Cub hat was making me dinner. And Howard looked forward to Ellen DeGeneres dancing and talked about cats. He looks forward to it. What? Oh, Howard, please, you know. This is already talking. We talked before. Let's pretend it's just me and you. You don't like Ellen DeGeneres dancing. No one changes that much. Marcy Turk can't change somebody that much. I'd love to meet this broad. If this Marcy Turk broad really turned Howard from hating her dancing to liking the dancing, I want to meet this chick. I want to get loaded with her. Holy shit. She did something even more powerful. She got Fred to agree with it. Fred's head must be, oh my God. There's got to be some point in Fred's life where he's honest with himself in his head going, oh, the shit I want to say. But I don't blame Freddie. Come on, you got to go with the cashes. Only idiots speak up like me, and I'm broke. Yeah. I'm sure Gary changed too. I'm sure Gary likes the dancing too. Gary likes the dancing because Howard likes the dancing. What the fuck?
That's the meeting I want to be in. No, you're going to like it. This is what you're going to like.
Well, you're in it every day. Okay? Now, Ken Cole. No, I get it, but that's it. Like that's like a typical business. There's sycophants in every business. I mean, but that's not Freddie. Freddie's an artist. He's a brilliant guy. You got to get money. But yeah, James Corden's nominated for an Emmy. I'm in hell. I mean, he sings karaoke in a car. Guys, do you realize the level of that's not even like that's not. I mean. Think about what Richard Pryor used to do and George Carlin. Think of the jokes. Like, I mean, she's dancing.
I told you there's 4 or 5 times when I almost walked out of the Ghostbusters movie, but I said, I gotta.
You know what, Dan? I have no sympathy. You went to see it.
I gotta.
Why'd you go see it?
Because I had to see it.
Why?
Because it was so.
Well, I don't understand why. You have no excuse. You went to see it. You should be there.
I wanted to see it because I wanted to see how bad it is.
You jumped out of a plane. You fell on the ground.
There are 1 or 2 sing-alongs and dance-offs.
I don't want to hear about it.
It's so
Dan,
bad.
I chose not to see it, so don't tell me. Don't ruin my life. And the fucking the commercials for it, you could tell like the women are funny too. And it's just a crowbar down our throats that women can be funny. Richard Roper said it was a bad movie, and they called him anti-woman. There might be nobody less anti-woman than Richard Roper.
Yeah, no kidding.
The guy's a liberal. He's a guy. He's actually a liberal that I don't find hateful because he's brilliant. He's a smart guy, and he's smart enough to realize I'm not going to say something's good just because it's made by other liberals. That he has integrity, and he's intelligent. So to do that is just an awful thing. So people don't know anything about Richard. They read that and they think, okay, Richard Roper's anti-woman. He's not. He's pro-good movie.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not. You just knew it was going to be bad just because you saw it. It was. I'll give you this. Kristen Wiig, funnier than me. Kristen Wiig is funnier and smarter than I am. Not even close. That chick is brilliant. Unbelievably great. I work on SNL, and that movie Bridesmaids. You can just tell she's a funny person. And I don't think I'm as funny. Not even close. Same thing with Molly McGee. What's her name? The fat chick? Melissa McCarthy. That chick is. I saw outtakes of her. Actually, Judd was talking about it. How good she is at improvisation. Oh man, because that's right, Judd, who produced Bridesmaids. Man, Apatow's got a resume, man. Jesus.
No
yeah,
kidding.
He produced Bridesmaids, and he was talking. I saw a special about it. That movie is fucking hilarious. And an ex-girlfriend got me to watch it. She said, "You got to see this. I'm telling you, it's funny." And she was right. I laughed through the whole thing. And they showed outtakes of Melissa McCarthy improvisation. What do they call it? Improving. I guess that's the word. Doing improvisational comedy with one scene where she just keeps rattling off jokes. And holy shit. Impressive. I don't think I'm as funny as Melissa McCarthy either. How's that sound? Who else is in that? Oh, the Black Broad. I mean, she's got one note, but, hey, doesn't mean anything. She's hilarious, too. The big black chick on SNL now. I've seen a couple of her Weekend Update spots. Out loud, laugh out loud, funny shit, and dangerous. That first one she did about a racial thing she did, I guess she like reversed it. I can't remember the exact thing, but she got in trouble for it. I remember defending her on Twitter. She's fucking hilarious. So it's not about when I say that movie probably sucks because it looks bad, and it gets confirmed by people like Danny and Roper who know movies. It's not because I hate women. Every woman in that is probably funnier than me. It's just a bad movie. But they don't want equality. They want you to toe the line and lie. And that's the best argument against something like affirmative action. If you're going to put somebody in a job just because there's a certain race, they better be good at it. You're putting a lot of pressure on that person. Because if they're not good, it ruins it for the other people to come in. White racists can go, we tried, it didn't work. That's why Jackie Robinson, I can't say this enough, every chance I try to say this. That's why Jackie Robinson was, when I make it, people say, what your favorite Americans like the 20th century. He might be my favorite American of the 20th century, Jackie Robinson. What they asked him to do was insane. Baseball was precious around then. It was the way football is now, times it by a billion. It was the national pastime. It was like the American flag. And, Babe Ruth had just retired, and here comes Jackie Robinson. And he wasn't no light-skinned black.
No.
He was black as night. Don Cheadle's taint in a Dodger uniform. And when you listen to him talk, as bright and articulate and smart and educated as anybody out there, you think Pee Wee Reese was like a retard compared to Jackie Robinson. Could barely put a sentence together. Jackie Robinson probably had to talk down to him and Mrs. Jackie Robinson, who was fucking hot.
She still is.
Yeah. I thought she just died.
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, well, that was Howard Cosell. I used to love him. I had dinner with Mrs. Jackie Robinson last night. She looked stunning! And what did Branch Rickey say to him? Here's a small task. Don't fight back. Just play great. When they call you the N-word in Cincinnati, don't say anything back. Don't fight. When the ump hates you and calls you out on a third strike, even if it was 4 feet off the plate, because you're the N-word that he doesn't want in the league, don't fight back. You can't. You'll ruin it for everybody else. You're the door I'm opening for every other person in your race to come in. How about that for pressure? And guess what Jackie Robinson did? He went out and somehow did that. For about 3 years, Branch Rickey said, after 3 years, if you're all right, we can have more people in and it'll truly be an integrated league, and then you can let them have it. That's why if I had to hit a microphone on any person in the history of the 20th century, I would like to have a hit a microphone on Jackie Robinson season 4. When he was allowed to let him have it. Because he did. He had fire in him. He was a fighter, too. He said to Branch Rickey, he goes, if you're looking for someone who's not going to fight back, you got the wrong guy. And Rickey said, no, I need the guy who's not going to fight back. And went out and had a Hall of Fame career. It's the same thing with comedy. You better be good. If you're going to have an effeminate white guy follow Colbert, get a guy who can come up with something a little more brilliant than Cars, karaoke, whatever the fucking. But they don't want that. They want safe. They want safe. All right.
There could be some anti-Semites on the fucking ferry, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'll be on the fucking news for 2 seconds.
All right, well, we just took a break. As I'm sure you can't tell from the seamless editing. Again, thanks to the great Richard Lewis. Go check him out. Again, if you have a chance to see Richard Lewis do stand-up comedy, do it. Because you're seeing one of the best who's ever lived. We're going to end your little Artie Quitter podcast. This will be a total of about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. We promise from the beginning at least an hour, but it usually goes between 2 and 3. So what we're giving you today is short for us, but basically a normal podcast. A podcast, an hour a week is what you get from people winning potties. People at the Potty Awards give you an hour a week. Filato and I average about 10 hours a week. And we're going to end with, the gay songs come in. They come in about Dan, the gay-themed song parodies. Vinnie Monroy is prolific. He's the Woody Allen of this. And he has sent in a parody where the theme is Dan is gay. Of course, not true. But to a song that's dear to me, Give Me the Loot by Biggie Smalls. Give Me the Loot by Biggie Smalls. The theme Dan Gay. And it's going to be tagged with a real quickie. A guy sent in a Sweet Emotion parody. Sweet Emotion by the great group Aerosmith, from them in the 70s. And when they were as cool as it gets. Made a comeback, though. There are no second acts in American lives. F. Scott Fitzgerald said that. Aerosmith is one of the few people, bands-wise, that proved that wrong. But this is in their first act, Sweet Emotion. So after the Gimme the Loot parody, you'll hear a real quick Sweet Emotion parody by a guy who is not on our radar till now. And listen closely to the lyrics. You know Sweet Emotion. Who's car?
And I want to implore that it's time now to move on from me and move to Mario Bosco, or
And I would like to
there
say-
are plenty of other people on this show.
Well, Mario Bosco does make it into the lyrics, and I would like to say, as an answer to what Dan just said, I understand where he's coming from. But if you don't want to move on, don't move on.
There are other people on this show. There's James Flippin,
I have
who
a lot
would
of-
love a song written about him.
I have a lot of flaws as well, and I do get it. But
Joe Matarese would love a song.
But listen, there are some people suggesting, Dan, that Joe Matarese, we do an intervention with Joe Matarese. He was geeked out last night. Yacked out. And, right after my buddy, one of the kids I went to high school with, used to call the face people make right after they do a lot of cocaine the geek. And he sent me pictures once when I was living in L.A., and it was a pictures of all guys we went to high school with. And he would like put captions underneath the Polaroids. Again, these are what my friends were doing while I was out in L.A. in our 20s. And you see them now. We're pushing 50. It's not pretty. Some of them aren't here, but we'll just say it's. I'll make up a nickname, I guess. Peppy Chimpers. He'd send me a picture of Peppy Chimpers right after you did a line of cocaine, and it would say, "Yo, Art, check out Peppy Chimpers 2 seconds after the geek." What? And I'm looking around them, and they're clearly in a motel in Seaside Heights. Like, this is when we were. First of all, I guess this is when I first moved out to LA to do Mad TV. So, there was a part of me when the plane left the ground at Newark Airport to officially go out to shoot the pilot. No, it's after I knew the pilot got picked up, so I knew I was going out to shoot a TV show with an apartment I was living in, a rent and everything. And in L.A., clear across the country. I did think of Springsteen's live version of Grown Up when he goes, "Growing up, it was bye-bye New Jersey. We were airborne." And I was like, well, I'm leaving a lot of crap behind that I could have, not family or anything or good friends, but a lot of stuff that could have got me in trouble. And was starting to get me in trouble. At the point I was borrowing from a Shylock to pay the book. I mean, come on. Not a good angle. So I'm out there and I'm thinking maybe that part of my life is behind. And then I open the mail and I get these Polaroids. And you realize they just got to get on a plane too. 6 hours they'll be here. 6 hours Jersey will come here. And this one kid who did come visit me shows up on the set of Mad TV. On the set of Mad TV, finds me. He was lambing it with Peppy Chimpers in Brazil. Now, he had done something wrong. I don't know. It was a subpoena. I don't know what happened. He had a bunch of desk warrants that he kept in his bag of tricks. He had a backpack he called his bag of tricks. It's while we were shooting the pilot. And he had all his warrants in there. I'm like, put them away. Put them away. The producers are here. We're around a bunch of actors who went to Northwestern. We're a bunch of people majored in theater in Northwestern. They don't need to see Jersey coming here with your warrants and your bag of tricks. And then he showed me a picture of Johnny Ocker 2 seconds after the geek. The geek. And his pictures, the look on the guy's face like the Coke was good.
At Northwestern, you get warning tickets for the first couple of times if you park in the wrong place.
Of course.
You don't get real tickets. That's true. In Evanston.
Really?
You get warning tickets.
Rich kids. We don't want to disturb your children. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? Tell that to Cabrini Green Projects. Okay, you shot a guy in the head as a warning ticket. By the way, Dan, what are you going to do about your hometown? It is out of control. I think 400 people got shot yesterday. What's going on? Is it going to blow up?
Well, it's only in 2 neighborhoods.
Yeah. Yeah, Oprah's not worried.
No.
On Lakeshore Drive. Well, what is it possible those neighborhoods would spill over into the... Well, New York's always been like that. I mean, New York has always been, New York, that's always it's unique. You got the worst neighborhood a millisecond away from the best.
And 2 out of every if I read the paper right, 2 out of every 3 guns comes because all you do is cross the street, and you're in Indiana, and you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah, well, believe me, I found out how close to Hammond, Indiana was to Chicago when we did that gig at that casino. You weren't there.
No,
That's when Roper came to see us with that beautiful girl, front row. And it was the Anti-Social Store. It was me, DePaulo, and it was a Norton and Attell. And we stayed in Chicago, but we played Hammond, Indiana. It was a casino. And I said, is it that close? Because we were in downtown Chicago. We stayed at the Trump.
Right.
Trump International Tower, which I got to tell you, arguably the nicest hotel I've ever been in. My room was gorgeous.
It's a great hotel.
Oh, 16th floor. If you're ever in Chicago, even if you don't like Trump, even if you're a liberal, Trump International Tower and Hotel in Chicago. My room looked at the Chicago River as it flowed out into Lake Michigan. Holy shit, it was gorgeous. Gorgeous. And it was like a condo. They have condos in there. The top, 18 floors were condos. 16th floor of that hotel. Do yourself a favor. If it's summer, go outside on the 16th floor terrace and have a burger. There's no one less than a fucking Nevada 9 serving you. The chicks are smoking. Nevada 9s. And I tweeted out that I was sitting there with Rich Roper. And you forget sometimes you're somewhat famous, People saw it and a bunch of scumbags showed up on the 16th floor. Because I tweeted it. To ask Richard that story, this one kid showed up. You tweeted it out and Richard's like, oh my God, what'd you do? But the girls are beautiful. Their service is great.
Richard told me the next week that he thought Timmy was going to do some blocking, but I guess he did not because your road manager, Tim.
What?
He said, I thought Timmy was going to do some interference between the fans and Artie, but he didn't.
He's not, because he doesn't do anything. He just tells Ala and Mario to do 2 minutes when I told him not to. Unbelievable. Tim's out of control.
It's roid rage.
No, he's probably mad for his neck hurting, looking up and telling people that. Imagine him telling Allah that, how hard his neck. Tim is about 4'11", and he's looking up. Just do 3 minutes. It's like screaming up at a jumper. Yeah, and Ivanka Trump saw my tweet, and one of the managers came over and said, Artie, Ivanka knows you. She knows your father knows you. She wants to thank you. She's in the hotel. I said, really?
Wow.
I said, where does she go? She's up in the penthouse apartment. I said, she's up in the penthouse apartment. I thought, really? Well. Would she like to thank me privately? No. She wouldn't. Okay. Yeah, they took us in a limo across the border into Hammond, Indiana, to that fucking casino. Good money. But, man, you can't believe how beautiful downtown Chicago is. In a millisecond, you're in, again, Hammond, Indiana. You just saw a guy. Again, I saw a gentleman. He looked of Hispanic descent, walking around with very beady eyes, and he had a blender. And he was walking around at 10 o'clock at night for no reason with a blender. I think he was trying to sell a blender. So, go have a good time. Anyway, Hammond, Indiana is very, very close to downtown Chicago. That's what I mean about those neighborhoods. They get Cabrini Green right in there. But my buddy, who sent me the Polaroids after the geek, comes in the middle of us shooting the pilot. I'm like, no, I wasn't airborne. He was airborne, too. It was bye-bye New Jersey for him as well. He was airborne. Said, I need a place to stay, Art, please. I go, okay. I had 2 weeks left. It took a month to shoot the pilot for Mad TV because it was sketch comedy. We had to go out there and write the sketches and shoot them. That guy got picked up, but it was a lot of work. It was pressure, and I'm like, this is everything in my life. I'm 27. I finally got out there. I'm like, this is everything. I'm like, I said to this kid, yeah, do you realize this is it, man? This is my mom doesn't have to work anymore. We're going to not have money problems, and maybe I go to a better life, this is pressure. You have to show up now. Wait till the show gets picked up. He goes, dude, I need a place to stay. I'm like, all right. I mean, of course. I know the kids since we were in Little League together. 8 years old, I know the kids since. We were on the Panthers together. Great team. This kid was also a great pitcher. And then he got the geek. So he stays with me. Stays with me for a week. We're having fun. I come home after work, long day of work, and I got all these sketches to memorize, but it was cool. We had a couple of drinks. Maybe a couple of geeks. Whatever was around. Hey, I was 27. Come on. A couple of Marlboro Reds. We'd hit the town a little bit. It was fun having around. And then I said, hey, shit, it's good to have a guy from home, one of the neighborhood guys around. It's fun. Come home one night. He's not there. Well, stuff's gone. I'm like, maybe shit he found it because he was waiting on a call to go do something up in San Francisco or something. Whatever. He's gone. His stuff's gone. And my TV's gone. Yeah, I swear to God, he stole the TV.
Oh, no.
The TV was gone.
Oh, no.
And I'm going, you motherfucker.
Oh.
So, okay, cut to, this is June. June 1995. Cut to Christmas break. Christmas time. Okay, the show premiered in October. We did the pilot. Pilot got picked up. I moved out there. We shot the first whatever amount of 8 episodes. The show premieres on October the 14th, 3 days after my 28th birthday, and a month before my 10th high school reunion. I premiere on a network television show. I was in rehab for the high school reunion.
Oh, no.
But I got out. Quincy took me back, and I was back on track, and I was kicking ass again. The show got picked up for the second half of the season, what we call the back nine. And stuff was going good. And everybody got together at a bar, Christmas break, in my hometown. And I see, we'll call him the geek. And I go, dude, I woke up to him. Like nothing happened. He hugs me. Hey, Artie, how you doing? I go, dude, what the fuck? You took my television. And he goes, oh, man. Oh, Artie, man, I'm sorry. I figured you didn't need it, right? I mean, you had. I go, why? Because you had a lot of work to do. He goes, dude, I swear to God, he goes, dude, that TV was a distraction to you. I go, we were out getting high and drinking. You were a distraction to me. I wanted to watch Mary Tyler Moore at 1 o'clock on Nick at Night. Dude, I'm sorry. Did you need the TV? What did you do? And how much did you get for that TV? He goes, a buddy of mine said he needed a TV, and we made a trade. I didn't want to fucking hear about it. He needed a TV. He took the television set out of my hotel.
Oh, man.
Now, my hotel was, the Oakwood Apartments.
Oh.
And I go, dude, you realize they charged me for it? They didn't believe me. They gave me the once-over, figured I was a dirtbag, too. And I said, why? They saw me buying pills by the pool one night at 3 a.m. They might as well have called that pill. The pill pool. Whatever. I go, I want that money back right now that you got for the television set. I go, what'd you get for it? He goes, like $5. I go, no, you didn't. So, like $60. I go, I want it. Come on, man. You're making a lot of money now. I want it. And I just bought an Eldorado for my... What a giddy move. First car. I have some fuck you money. I buy an Eldorado. And he goes, all right, I got like $11. I don't want it. He's counting the money. $11 he had. I forget it. I don't want the $60. Forget it. Just don't take... If you come out to visit me again, don't take my television.
Oh, man.
And he comes up, dude, never again. And he hugged me. Then his best friend, this other kid, Scott, leaned in and said, Artie, keep it white. That's what he said to me. Then he left. He was found dead a year later with a heroin needle in the vein in his forehead. He tried to shoot up in his forehead. And last thing he said to me was, keep it white. And I've tried to do that ever since. I don't know what it means. All right. We're going to play these songs and say farewell till tomorrow. Great show tomorrow. Ann Coulter, right?
Yes.
Trump woman Ann Coulter, one of my good friends. I love her. And very relevant because Trump is off the rails, baby. We knew this would happen, and it's going to be entertaining. And we'll see how Ann plans on keeping him on the rails. The surrogates for Trump are getting harder and harder on CNN. It's a hard job. And Ann is fearless. I love her. So tomorrow, Ann Coulter and the guys, Mario Bosco and Boschetti, unless Boschetti's bronchitis comes back, in the same room. Bosco, Boschetti, tomorrow. Listen to these song parodies about Dan being gay, and, Dan, take it easy on him. Take care, Brashear.
Artie. critter.
Niggas.
How you figure? Yeah.
Peep the style, it's why the fans love us. I'll ship Mario Bosco in on the shore bus. I got vendettas with dance, gay sweaters, and guys who cook broccoli farts to be better. Take that with ya.
Rick hit me, then split me. Face fuck me, a hot scuffle. Pillowcase by my face make my scream muffle. Thick yellow calf muscle. Fuck my wrestle. Griffin sedated. Shoot cum on the floor after I rape it. Most hated.
Can't take it. While y'all do nothing, I gotta act silly. You're a hack, I'm the one with all the skills, Danny. But on the contrary, I gambled on my Millie, squeezed off one while Danny was doing laundry. What's your name?
Cum shots ya, it dries like a Fanta. Peruvian can break me in, but I ain't ready yet. Try to take 9 inches, I can't take it yet. Hot gay sex is the shit. Cock rings too, niggas run away, call me take big dicks. RT and Danny Smalls,
Niggas
shit your draws.
laughing.
Jersey going out to all.
Hoboken,
It don't stop,
Union.
you don't stop.
Niggas. And that opening.
He's got fat white calves and an ass like a saint. Gonna fondle his balls while I lick on his taint. Then I move to the rear and tongue his behind. Fernando's asshole is sweet and sublime. Yes, it